of task 1 tips. Means if you are not able to write task 1 perfectly, please stay in touch with me. So because it would be beneficial for you to achieve band 7 plus. So let's start the tips. Actually, I have started with the task 1. So task 1 tips I have written for you, which could help you to get good scores. The first one is read the instructions attentively, because what the students do, they always rush and they want to complete their task within a time. But what they do, they just don't write, they don't just go through the instruction attentively, and they just start writing and they don't even think of what they have to write. So it seems like a very straightforward one, but it is one of the most common mistakes students make in writing tasks Ielts 1. So they do this kind of common mistake. I think they should read the instructions properly so that they can avoid making mistakes. And the second thing which they have to do it is paraphrase the question. Because if they do paraphrase the question, they can easily achieve good scores. They won't lose point, and the response which they will give it will effectively boost their scores, right? So the interviewer is trying to see if the questions can be paraphrased. Like, you should see whether you can paraphrase, how effectively you can do that. You have to paraphrase the whole first thing, and then this is how you can use synonyms to alter keywords to paraphrase. So this is what you can do it. And after that, practice on Ielts answer sheets, because what we don't have to get like extra sheets, we don't get it actually. Rough sheet, we don't get it. So what you have to do it, like at the sides you can plan, or you can plan on the same worksheet which has given to you. Just plan first, write the main features, and then after that you can start explaining, and this is how you have to do it. So report key features, the main feature you have to write in this task. So let's see here, the report key features, not every little changes. So it means if there is a little change, you don't have to describe, because that can extend your word limit. So report only key features, the main feature which you think that you have to grab, and which is easy to explain. So choose those features and then just avoid every little change, right? And then plan and organize a task properly. So you have to plan and organize a task properly. Planning your response is never a waste of time. So as this will help you score well by providing a straightforward and concise answer. So you can plan and organize tasks well. First, plan what are the major changes, right? What you have to write there. Just plan and organize this effectively, right? Then you can make it proper. You can make it clear to the examiner that what you try to write. And this is how you can write. Firstly, in first section, you can paraphrase your statement, only paraphrase whatever the task is given to you. Then you can write an overview, because you have to write a report, like what main features are there. And after that, you have to explain, write major changes with relevant comparison in detail for paragraph 3 and 4. So major changes, what changes occurred during this period, during that time, and like you can see the horizontal and vertical lines, and explain effectively what changes you have seen, and you can make a relevant comparison in paragraph 3 and paragraph 4. Then you have to double check your writing. After writing, you have to double check whether you have written well or not. You can check your spellings, mistakes, and because if you give that time, then you can do some changes at the end if it's required, and you can maybe avoid repetition. Means you won't have to, if you check twice, so you might get a new word can pop up in your mind, and you can write that word, right? And practice writing an overview, because that is the main thing, and you have to practice that overview, because it also affect on your band scores. If you write overview perfectly, you got to know what are the main features, key points, then you can write an overview. And an overview is a summary of main features shown in the diagram or shown in any table or any other charts, right? So this is how you have to write. After that, you have to take into account about using tense, because these mistakes students mostly make. And I think it's very hard to get a good scores if you make mistake while using inappropriate tense. So you have to care about whether if it's about future, if it's estimation or a prediction, you have to use future tense, and if it's about past, you have to use past perfect or present perfect or any other tense like past tense to show the changes, to describe changes, right? And if it's about like present, then how you could write appropriately while using a perfect tenses, right? So this is how you have to do it. And let's jump to next one, which is about find out what the most common errors, right? Because writing, it is necessary to review your work at the end, as I mentioned here, double check everything. So you have to find the common errors as well. So you write at the end, but you have to review your work at the end, but many students complain that they run out of time. So I think if you organize and plan properly, as I mentioned earlier, so if you plan properly, then I think you can find out what the most common errors are, right? And then you can write it effectively without wasting your time. So legible writing means sometimes you write roughly, right? Some students have very bad handwriting, and even they can get a good scores. They are well in writing, and but just because of legible writing, just because of handwriting, they just lose their mark. I think they should work out on their handwriting so that examiner can understand, or if it's checked electronically, so that the electronic system can get to know the perfect words, right? And then this is how we have to do it. After that, let's jump to the take your pencils and eraser for the exam, because borrowed erasers can spoil the whole paper by leaving dark spots. So take care of that, because what happens, student doesn't care. They don't care because they think like they can get it pencil and eraser in the examination hall, but when they get it from there, so it is not good, as because you can check the quality before your test. And I think you should check your eraser, because sometimes they left leave the dark spots, and it's very hard to erase it, right? It is not too easy to erase these kind of stuff, and once you won't be able to erase the dark spots, it will spoil your whole paper. So these are the efficient the most common things which you have to keep in mind while writing your task 1, right? So if you will go through these things, you won't be able to skip, or you won't be able to lose your marks. So this was the video only for task 1 tips, and I think if you follow my instruction, you will easily get band 7 score. So this is the end of my video. Please press the bell icon and do like and comment, because if you press the bell icons, you can get the notification of every new videos.